Ah ouais.
I'm Sebastian, a French balloon pilot. I have come here to Mali with a slightly outrageous dream, that of flying in a balloon with some of the Dogon people above the famous Bendiagara escarpment. But, and this is what I like about Africa, nothing ever happens the way it's supposed to. It all started with the Harmattan, a desert wind whose violent gusts obliged me to undertake a crash landing. I presume that this is a joke. Tembeli grocery? Tembeli grocery.
5 meters, then to your right.
All right.
Behind us? What a good idea to have given us a meeting point in such an unknown spot. A U-turn?
Eh ben quand même.
Oh, at least we found you.
On t'a trouvé.
At least we have the gas. Unfortunately, Fred Le Pagnol, my co-pilot, and I have been grounded for the last 3 days by the wind. My trip to the Dogon homeland is not going to be one of complete ease. This is the big day. The wind seems to have calmed. There was a bit of a breeze this morning. Now, fingers crossed, we seem to be taking off. I've come here with 2 funny machines, a hot air balloon and a dynabule, which will allow us to navigate because of the microlight engine fixed to the back. Take off for the village of Tireli, situated about 50 kilometers away, where I leave for a meeting with the last people who still maintain string links with the earth. I have a simple wish, to live for a time as the Dogons do, and discover the wisdom and strength of their culture. From my part, I hope to share with them my passion for ballooning and reveal to them their world from the sky.
Parfait, c'est cool. Ah là là.
It is my first time in West Africa, and I find here the same smells, the same sensations as in Tanzania and Kenya, which I know well. It's a little late, but the wind has finally fallen, and I really hope we are going to be able to get to Tireli before nightfall. Here we are, flying over the rocky plateau which was populated by the Dogons more than 700 years ago when they came to settle in the region. The Dogons come from a region situated to the south of Bamako, which they left to come in order to find refuge here. Even if the Dogons speak numerous dialects, many of them manage quite well in French, an inheritance of their colonial past. At present, approximately 400,000 people live in this Sahelian region. The heartland of the Dogon country is at the end of this vast plateau of sandstone, which ends very abruptly. Below us is the Bendiagara cliff, which is more than 200 kilometers long. I learned that formerly the cliff sheltered the Telam people. This small band of hunter-gatherers were cave dwellers and had established a lot of houses there. At that time, a vast forest extended up to the cliff. When they arrived, the Dogons felled all of the trees to establish their agriculture, and in doing so deprived the Telem of their means of subsistence. After 2 hours of flying, I finally get near the village of Tirelli. And this time, I hope I can land gently. Shek, the driver of the assistance truck, has had off to warn the villagers of our arrival so that they won't be too frightened by our strange machine. Nice to meet you.
How are things? I've never seen anything like that. What's that called? I don't know the name for it.
It's a hot air balloon. It's too late now to introduce myself to the village chief and ask him for hospitality, so I shall have to be content with a small tent under the stars. At 7 a.m., the village is almost deserted. The inhabitants have already gone out to their fields and herds long ago, before the heat becomes unbearable. I have a meeting at noon with the chief in the village center. That leaves me the time to check out the neighborhood. The knocking of hammers indicates the presence of a blacksmith, and we're in luck.
Dis-moi.
We lost a spare part like that there, a cutter pin, and I'd like to know if you can remake us one. Do you think it's possible?
Yes, not a problem.
How long would it take to make?
About an hour.
An hour? Great. The Smith form a special caste among the Dogon people because, according to legend, they stole the fire from the gods to give it back to humans.
That is magic in Africa. Whatever the damage, you always find a solution. Brilliant. Merci.
Merci.
Au revoir.
Goodbye, thank you.
Merci.
In a Dogon village, rocks, sacred altars and taboo areas are not indicated. I have to avoid touching anything at all costs in order not to offend the spirits nor attract the ire of the gods. These choir of women who pound the millet remind me a cool legend. At the beginning of time, the sky was so low, the stars so near the earth, that the hyena once scratched the moon and left its imprints on it. During these times, mothers unhooked stars so that their children could play with them. But one day, everything changed. An old woman struck her pestle with such force that the sky was pushed back. And since then, we can pound millet without banging into the stars. Millet is the staple diet, but before being able to eat it, you have to crush it. And here there is no mill. It is the arms which do all the work.
I think it's the first time they see a man doing it. They let me for a while, but now it's over. I can't do it anymore. It's a very hard work, and it's good to do it in singing and all together.
The chief of